The South Carolina Court of Appeals is sending the Murdaugh murder case back to the circuit court.
Yeah, this comes after the defense requested an evidentiary hearing for jury tampering allegations. News 19's Zoe Henry has more on what that means.
As of Tuesday, Alex Murdaugh's defense attorneys were granted an evidentiary hearing for the jury tampering allegations made by Murdaugh's attorneys following the trial. In a statement from Murdaugh's attorneys Dick Harpootlian and Jim Griffin, this is, quote, welcome news. We intend to proceed expeditiously and will seek a full-blown evidentiary hearing addressing the serious allegations pertaining to improper jury communications by the clerk of court. Meanwhile, the Attorney General's office sent this in response to the new hearing. We will respond through the legal process at the appropriate time. Luke Shealy is a Columbia criminal defense attorney.
So really the jurisdiction was up there, so they really had to stay that appeal, convince them that this was a big enough deal to pause the appeal essentially and come back down to circuit court where Judge Newman would have the opportunity to rule on this motion.
This comes after Harpootlian and Griffin submitted a 65-page motion in September that brought the evidentiary hearing, which could lead to the potential of a new trial. Taylor Bell is a Columbia attorney. He says the timing of this hearing is out of the ordinary.
This is kind of an unprecedented thing. It doesn't typically happen. It's not very common for it to come so soon. Most of the time, these types of motions are made years after, when other people come forward, or maybe DNA.
Harpootlian and Griffin say the Colleton County Clerk of Court, Becky Hill, had private conversations with jurors. Hill has denied those allegations. Bell says this hearing will look to answer two questions. Did Alex Murdaugh receive a fair trial? And did Becky Hill, the clerk of court, interfere with the final ruling?
It is based on allegations that there was jury tampering by the clerk of court, and it was based on interviews in which the defense attorneys took related to jurors in this case, as well as potentially the book that was published by the clerk of court.
Now Murdaugh's legal team will have to wait to see whether the judge will allow witnesses in the upcoming hearing. Zoe Henry, News 19, WLTX.
All right, Zoe, thank you so much. Obviously, a lot has happened with Alex Murdaugh in the last year or so we want to break down some of the other key moments for you. Now, Murdaugh was found guilty for murdering his wife and son at the beginning of March of this year. The very next day, he was sentenced to life in prison. Things were then relatively quiet for a couple of months until August, when Murdaugh was charged behind bars for abusing privileges. This all stemmed from a recorded phone interview that he did while behind bars, and that goes against jail rules. Now let's fast forward to September. Murdaugh pleaded guilty to 22 federal charges related to his financial crimes. This was the first time Murdaugh took responsibility for his crimes and said, yes, I did this. His sentencing was set for a later date. Now, also in September, Murdaugh appeared in court in Beaufort County. Now, that was once again in front of Judge Clifton Newman, and once again for his more than 100 state financial charges. His trial date for that has been set. That will be November 27th of this year.